Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Hi, Ellie.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Excellent.
Good morning. Barbara, question.
Answer?
The question is, we wait until this meeting starts by the tone of the bell before we cast our vote for the error in the fundraiser?
Yes.
Okay, I'll wait.
That's the rule.
Hey, Barbara, I have a question also. So, you know, I lost my old email.
Right.
They originally told me I'd have it till the end of the month. Well, they didn't actually end up letting me do that, so it's fine. But I can't remember if the foundation approved the dictionary.
They have not, I think they did electronic vote, and I have not heard the result of that. So I will ask Andy if he's on the call this morning to address that.
Perfect, thank you.
Sure. We voted as a board electronically to approve it and then sent it on to the foundation. And I know they sent out an electronic request for vote, but I didn't see the result. I'm sure it'll pass. I just don't know if they got all the required numbers in.
I remember they had done that because I remember Barney is the first one that replied, and I think that's the last thing I remember on it because my week ended up being chaotic when that went out.
Sure.
So
I'm sure your week has been chaotic. So you settling in?
yes and no. There's a lot of stuff to do, and it's just hard to know kind of where to start. I've been on the phone with Rochelle quite a bit, but it's like, yes. So Monday was pretty good. I had Kathy Webster there with me, and she sat and went through a bunch of stuff with me, which was super helpful. But yesterday morning at 8 a.m., we had a Zoom call, and it did not stop until like 6:30. And so yesterday was a little bit long and a little bit overwhelming, but I still really like it. I mean, it's still awesome. I don't know how.
You'll enjoy it, and you'll really be good at that. So we're so pleased for you.
Thank you.
Jim Connor, are you going south for the winter, for the hinterland?
Well, as of right now, I don't think we're going to go till after the first year, and then we're, that's kind of on standby. If we go, we would have to come back and quarantine for 2 weeks on account of our daughter. So I don't know. We may try to go to Kansas City to see our kids and great grandkids and all, but everything's kind of up in the air. And by the way, Sandy also found a mistake, but I didn't call it in. Did you find it, or did Kathy?
I found it. Well, I think I found it. To correct myself, Steve, I'm sorry. Nothing is a certainty.
It was, Barbara said to wait until 7 o'clock to enter your hanging out.
When I ding the bell, then you can enter it.
I think they ought to open it up as soon as people have them, you can open it instead of waiting.
Barney, bridle your horse, will you?
Hey kids, how you doing?
Good morning, all.
Good morning, Mike.
Just a reminder to you folks, send me a few bucks and you can be in on the pot of gold drawing. What happened to it? There it is. Can't see it, can you? Oh, well.
Actually, I did see it briefly.
I'll just turn off my background.
Or figure out where your speaker is. Your
There. Now you can see it.
Kit.
Hello, anybody there?
Yes, we're
We're
here.
here. Are you there?
Well, yeah, yes. Well, I said good morning 2 times and I got no answer, and it's been dead silence for the last minute. So I thought, okay, better check. Make sure I'm in the right chat room.
Well, it's requiring me to admit everybody, which last week was the first time I'd had to do that. Before, you could just get right into the meeting. So I'm trying to keep my eye on that so I make sure that nobody's sitting out there in the waiting room.
Why do you think that is?
Somebody said they thought that Zoom had done an update and they're requiring that now. So I may issue a new meeting invitation and have a password on it, because on this, I did not put a password to get into the meeting. But maybe if I put a password on there, you can just key in the password and I won't have to admit you. So I think I'll try that for next week.
It must be
Barbara,
because
They did do an update.
I'm sorry.
And they did do an update. And the reason they're doing it is because, and this has happened with my business and some of our team members, people are hacking into meetings and doing obscene things. So
Yeah,
it's a protection.
that's what I thought. Okay. There goes the gong. So now the meeting is official, and I'm going to share the screen because we have Megan as our ROD today. So as soon as the gonging stops, then if Megan is on, she can lead us in the prayer and the pledge. Okay, Megan, are you on?
I am. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Great. Yes, I can.
Okay. Good. Good morning, everybody. All right. Well, for the prayer, I actually chose the first 3 verses of Psalm 5. And it's a great just way to start your morning. Give ear to my words, O Lord. Consider my sighing. Listen to my cry for help, my King and my God. For to you I pray. In the morning, O Lord, you hear my voice. In the morning, I lay my requests before you and wait in expectation. So, all right, let's do the pledge. A salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Doing a song?
Thank you, Megan.
You're welcome.
Okay, and
All
we'll
right.
now, oops. Okay, it's back to you, Megan, for
Back to
starting it off.
me.
Yes,
It's kind of, I know, you guys are going to get sick of me this morning.
I don't think so.
All right. Well, does anybody, actually, do we have any guests first? I know that we have Trisha Mason here from 12 and 12, and we'll get to her and her introduction. Does anybody see any other, I don't see anybody else that I don't know, unless there's somebody on the phone that I don't know. So anybody else? All right. Well, if any, Trisha, if you notice anybody come in, I know that you said you might invite some people. So if you see anybody, please feel free to let us know. All right. Any anniversaries or birthdays? Oh, actually, I see someone, Dane Bashman. Hi, Dane.
Hello.
You're a visitor. How are you?
Great. Yeah, part of the Big Speak group. Just want to come visit your wonderful group today.
Oh, great. We're so glad you joined us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. I live in Bixby, so I've heard really great things about your Rotary Club.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Good. Any anniversaries or birthdays?
Yeah, anything.
Nothing? Wow, October's a quiet, beginning of October is quiet then, huh?
Megan knows.
Okay. All right. How about happy bucks? I know people have happy bucks. Yes, Barbara.
I
Barbara.
have a happy buck. I just got back yesterday from spending almost a week in Colorado. Picked it perfectly for the timing of the leaf changes. It was absolutely breathtaking. So long day drive back yesterday, but I'm glad to be back, but really glad to have enjoyed the leaves.
Jim Milburn.
This is $8 worth of happy bucks per trip. And this has been on behalf of the 8 Sunrise veterans that 2 years ago, actually October the 2nd, 2018, we flew to Washington, D.C. on a Warriors flight as endorsed and funded by none other than Ellie and Barney Tonquist. And our hands off to you and salute.
Definitely. That's awesome. Thank you, Ellie and Barney. Yes, Martha.
Okay, I'm not awake yet. I have an anniversary. I forgot.
Oh, okay. Yay.
So I'm going backwards. My husband and I are celebrating our 44th wedding anniversary on October 9. And that's 44 years worth of joy and excitement. And I'll be sending a check for $44 because I'm so excited about making it to 44. Because my mother told us when we got married, we wouldn't make it for 6 months. So this is good.
Nice. Good. Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah, 44 years. That's awesome. Great. Okay, I see Joy waving her hand.
Good morning, everyone. My happy buck is that my niece, Sarah Beth, was able to move into her new home. She's lived in a little house for about, I don't know, 800 square feet for years. But with expecting her second child, she needed a little more room. So they got moved in over the weekend, and I did shelf paper yesterday. So anyway, was just a happy buck for them getting in place before the baby comes.
Hey, very good. Well, and I have to tell you, having someone come and do your shelf paper is just like amazing. My mother-in-law did that for me, and it was like the best thing ever. So good job. All right. Yes, Linda.
Well, I missed the meeting last week. First time that I have missed a meeting since when I was in town. And I missed a whole bunch of stuff. I guess that Sarah is having twins, Joy's niece. Is that correct? Did I see that in the fundraiser?
Sorry, it's Fred's niece, Sydney, not Sarah.
Okay, but Sarah is expecting. Okay,
Yeah.
Congratulations. And John Raines, one of my favorite Rotarians, was a visitor. I missed him. My raffle ticket was pulled and I missed that. Although Ellie stepped in and still didn't get the joker, but still up for grabs. What else? I didn't get to congratulate Cole on her new position in public. So congratulations, Cole. Although I've done it in private and we still need to go have a drink. So, an amazing speaker, I'm sure. I missed that too. And I apologize to Barney. I did not realize that we had to wait until the bell rang to put in the error. And I tried to erase putting it in and I couldn't get it out. So I bow to Barney. So how many happy bucks was that, Mike? 5, 6.
That'll teach you to miss a meeting.
Yeah. Wow.
I'll take just one.
Well, just 100 up into one. Awesome. Yeah, Cole, congratulations, by the way. You weren't here last week, and we just all, want to tell you congratulations on your new position. So I know we can't see you, but you're there, right?
Sorry, I am here. I woke up a little bit late, so I'm on the road. I started Monday, and it was awesome. I actually was supposed to be on the call last week, and the HR department scheduled my stuff Wednesday morning at 7 a.m., and I completely forgot about Rotary. So I've had an outpouring of support. It was almost, as soon as it kind of went out last week, it was almost overwhelming because my phone and my email just didn't stop between when they announced it on Tuesday or Wednesday, even until, going through Sunday. It was pretty constant. And since I've been in the office, there's been quite a few people who have just stopped by and emailed and called. And so, I've worked really hard for Rotary for a long time, and I didn't realize how many people I actually have done stuff with until all of this. And it's just like, oh yeah, you helped with this, or you did this, and da da da. And if you need help with whatever, so it's been amazing. I know we have a really good district, but with this transition, it's really, really, really shown me how much support everybody shows each other. And it's been awesome. It's a little bit overwhelming this week, just trying to get settled. And with Rochelle not being here, it's a little bit different training because I have different people who are kind of giving me bits and pieces, but I know it'll come together, and I'm excited for it. But I also that was one of my happy bucks, was that, because I did miss last week. And then the other happy buck is all week I've been so proud of myself about going to the right place, because I'm a very creature of habit. If I drive one way, I take the same way. And then this morning, because I was on the Zoom call, I got halfway to work to my old employer before I realized what I was doing. So I took the long way to work this morning. So those are my happy bucks, as I did really good this week until today. So
That's great. Well, congratulations. I've done that many times. Thought I was going somewhere and ended up somewhere else. So you're all good. All right. Anybody else?
I have a happy buck.
All right, Janet.
So yesterday was Scrappy's last day for heartworm shots. And I am feeding them so much. They now are 12 pounds and 11 pounds. So I think I have very healthy dogs.
Oh, good. How old are they now?
Let's see, they're a year and 3/4, year and a half, something like that. They were born on the 18th.
All right. All right. Good. Thank you. Anybody else? Making sure I'm seeing everybody here. Okay. I also want to welcome Laura Garrett coming back this week. Laura, we're so glad you're here again. I think induction soon, so we're excited that you want to be a member of our club, and we're so glad to see you this morning. So,
thank you very much. It's great to be here.
Good. Good. All right. Okay. Well, if there are no more happy bucks, I'm going to go on with the joke. Okay. And this was actually, I don't see her here. Carolyn McGay, are you here this morning? So Carolyn actually sent this to me, and it's great. But I do want to make sure everybody knows that this was submitted by a blonde. It's a blonde joke. So for you blondes, please don't be offended. And she's blonde, so that's why I feel like we can do this. After becoming very frustrated with the attitude of one of the shopkeepers, the young blonde declared, "Well then, maybe I'll just go out and catch my own alligator and get a pair of alligator shoes for free." The shopkeeper replied with a sly smile, "Well, little lady, why don't you go give it a try?" The blonde headed off to the swamp, determined to catch an alligator. Later in the day, the shopkeeper was driving home and spotted the young woman standing waist deep in the murky water, shotgun in hand. He saw a huge 9-foot alligator swimming rapidly toward her. With lightning reflexes, the blonde took aim, shot the creature, and hauled it up onto the slippery bank. Nearby were 7 more dead gators, all lying belly up. The shopkeeper watched in amazement as the blonde struggled with the gator. Then, rolling her eyes, she screamed in frustration, "Crap, this one's barefoot too!"
That's a good one.
That's a good, I thought so too. I laughed out loud when Carolyn sent that to me. So
Yeah,
I'll have to
Carolyn's
let her know.
still an angel fire, and it's an hour earlier there, so she can be forgiven for not being on the call this early.
That's
Okay, thank you, Megan.
All right.
Sharing,
Yeah.
sharing my screen here.
Okay.
Come on. What's wrong?
Okay.
Hang on here, 1 second. Oh, it's early. Hang on. And now I'm lost. Okay, we'll try this one more time. There we go. Okay, everybody see that now? You're all on mute. I assume you can see that. Okay. Again, it's this Saturday that's our workshop. I don't know if Bill Bowen's on the phone because I can't see that right now, but remember, Tulsa Hills Youth Ranch needs you. So work day at 9 o'clock. Bill, if you're on the phone, will you go through what tools you might need out there on Saturday? Bill must not be on the phone. Okay. We'll have him send a note to Kit and we'll blast everybody before Saturday. And there'll be social distancing, but please be prepared to go out and help. It's time to start getting with some of our partners out there. Cole, you want to talk about the dictionary project? Can you do that while you're driving?
I'm actually not driving now.
Okay,
I'm in the
good.
office. Yeah, I turned on my video while Jim said you need to be careful because you're driving. I had turned on my video while I was at a stoplight, and so now I'm safely in my office. Yeah, so I submitted our dictionary order and our grant request to the club board, and I know that's been sent to the foundation board. I have not heard if it's been approved, but we've added 2 schools to our list this year, and so we've no, 2. That I'm sorry, that's correct. So we're doing all the Jinx Elementaries. We're still doing KIP, and then we've added Victory Christian and we've added Lone Star Elementary. So we had a pretty big order this year, which is awesome. I'm gonna again have them delivered to the district office, and I believe that we can get it set up in the large area where we did the labeling party last year to be able to social distance that way. And so when the dictionaries are delivered, I do think I'll need a few people to volunteer to help me get them loaded or unloaded into the office. Once that order's placed, they'll give me a date with a time range, and then I think they call me at some point beforehand. So I'll be having Kit send out a blast or put it in the newsletter once I find that out. We also ordered, I did not have any Spanish dictionary requests this year, so we ordered a case of those just to be on the safe side. And if we don't end up using them, I kind of thought about the Jinx Rotary Club is giving new sets to the libraries for West and East Intermediate, which is kind of like before their high school, so kind of like a middle school. But they did not order Spanish dictionaries for them. So I thought that if we don't end up using them, we can slap the Sunrise label in there and donate them to those schools. So I don't think anything will go to waste. We actually were able to work it out pretty well where we're not going to have hardly any extra dictionaries because, I get to order them by case. So I think everything's going to be great. And I'm still waiting on some names from teachers, and I plan on reaching out to them this week. So that's where I'm at with that. And I'm kind of just waiting on the foundation to make the next move.
Okay, great. Thank you, Cole. I did get a note from Gary, who's coordinating that from the district. and he suggested that maybe we try and do something using the technology of Zoom, where the Rotarian can read out the name of the student, for each different school that we're going to, and work with the teacher, read the name of the student, and then the teacher hand the dictionary to the student, because we can't be there in person. So we'll see if that's too complicated to accomplish, but if not, that'd be a nice way to still be in touch and have part of it, because that's the fun part, is handing out the dictionaries to the students.
So I visited with a few of the teachers, and right now I think everybody's feeling pretty overwhelmed. And so I don't know if that's going to be an option with our Jinx schools. With KIPP Academy, we're working out something where we're going to do it during, where they're going to be passing out things to students, because all of the KIPP students are virtual right now. So we're trying to partner or match our dates with that. So we'll get to hand them out. It'll just be like a drive-through basically. Excuse me. And so with Jinx, I don't think we'll be able to do the virtual thing, but I did discuss with each principal, possibly in January, if COVID has calmed down, we'll get to go in and they'll kind of do it like an assembly type thing with groups, and we'll do like some fun trivia or something like that, and I'll get some fun prizes for them. And so I am working on doing something with the third graders. It's just right now I don't want to add any extra stress onto the teachers.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, but we'll get with Andy and figure out where we are on that. Thank you very much, Cole. Okay, I see that Gifty's on the phone. We still don't have the money for the Cameroon, but we do have, I think, money to ship a container to Ghana. Gifty, if you're on the phone, is that correct? Are you on mute, Gifty? Okay, well, I did see her on the phone earlier, and she did send me an email this week saying that they do have sponsorship for one container to go to, I believe it was Ghana.
She's there.
Yeah, I'm here now.
Okay.
We had good news from Ghana, from a foundation in Ghana. They have found a sponsor to ship a whole container to Ghana. So VJ is trying to put it together and ship it over to Ghana. We're still collecting money for the Cameroon ones.
Right, that's good news, and maybe more people will be inclined to step up and do what the foundation in Ghana did. So thank you. Okay, last week's winner on the Sharp Eyes contest was Bill Lawson, and I will announce this week's winner because the person who made it to the chat room first was Linda Ortega, even though Ellie, Jim, and John also entered the chat room, but they were too late. Linda made it. She noticed that Steve Kerr made it amazing instead of Amazon. So I will be mailing a gift card for $5 to Starbucks to Linda Ortega. So congratulations, Linda. Okay, Mike Bibby, you want to do the pot of gold?
Yes, I'd be. Am I on?
You're on. We
Okay,
can hear you.
I can't tell if I'm muted.
Oh, let me stop sharing, and then you can share now.
Okay. Well, we've got 11 entries in the pot of gold, and I will share the screen. Host is disabled, participant screen share.
Oh, wait. Let me see. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, now see if you can do it.
Yes. There we go. Okay. I'm mixing up the 11 entries. By the way, we could sure use some more people involved in this. And I have pulled out a ticket. I said I pulled out a ticket. They're sticking together. Barney, are you on the line?
I am.
Okay, well, your choices are on the screen. Which number would you pick?
Let's go with lucky 13.
Lucky 13. You assume that it's going to be lucky.
That's my number.
Okay, I hope everybody can see this. I'm going through 11, 12, there's number 13. Number 13, I'm sharing with the screen now, and it's Ace of Clubs. Oh, phooey. Okay. Well, keep the money coming in, folks. We're up over $300, and I'd love to give that away.
Yeah, send your checks or a picture of your check to Mike, and you'll get your ticket into the pot for next week's drawing. And speaking of next week, as you'll see by the numbers here, we're not exactly improving. I don't have yesterday's number because I was driving, but I'd hope that we will be able to do the induction of our new members on next week at an in-person club meeting, but that's not going to work. So we're going to do the induction of Jesse and Laura Monday night at our Rotary board meeting. It'll be out at the Marriott, and it'll be at 5:30 for our happy half hour and 6 o'clock for our regular board meeting. But before the actual board meeting, we'll do the induction of the new members. And I believe the district governor may try to attend to that, as well as John Raines, who is our assistant district governor. So if any of you all would like to attend that as well, I think we have room in our tall grass Rotary room to be socially spaced so that we can all participate in welcoming Laura and Jesse to Sunrise Rotary. So hopefully that's going to go off as planned, but not exactly as originally planned. So hope to see you there. And I think I did see Andy join the, let me stop here for just a second. Andy, are you on the line? Andy Leitner, I admitted him to the room. Let me look here.
Yes, I am.
Okay, can you give an update for Cole on where we are with the foundation approving the funds so she can place the order for the dictionaries?
Oh, yes, we've approved that. I'm not sure if I'd sent the message out to the foundation board, but the votes were counted, and it's been approved for that, yes.
Okay, so that Joy can send the check. What does Joy do now? Send the check to Cole or send it? Well, Cole is the district. How does that work?
Well, first of all, I need a copy of the request for funds, the form, so that that will have the instructions on whether I mail it or whatever, send it to Cole or how to make it out. So I haven't even gotten a copy of that.
When I sent in the grant request, the order form was piggybacked behind it. So it was all one document.
I never have a copy of anything other than you just asking me for a copy of last year's grant request, but I don't have anything.
Okay.
Well, Joy, that might be my error. I don't have the most organized group of foundation members on my email. I basically put everyone's name in it. So it's very possible you did not get that.
Okay.
So
well,
I will
if
send that
somebody
to you.
wants to give that to me so I'll get it done correctly, I'll be happy to do that.
Great. Thank you, Andy. Appreciate you sending that to Joy. Okay. Next, we have Megan Korn, who is
May I also just confirm, excuse me for interrupting.
Sure.
If anybody was planning on coming to the foundation meeting, that's going to be virtual this Thursday night. Andy, am I correct in saying it's actually going to be next Thursday night?
If we are to have one, it would be next Thursday.
If we have one, it'll be next Thursday. So if any of you all were planning on doing a makeup tomorrow night, it's not going to be available. Thanks.
Thanks, Joy. Thanks, Andy. Okay, Megan, you are up again as ROD, and then to introduce Tricia Mason, who is here from the 12 and 12 Recovery Center. So
yeah,
go for it.
Can I share my screen real quick? Would that be okay?
No, yeah, you can go ahead and do it. You should be able to do it.
All right. Let me see. You guys can see this. Can you guys see that? So, all right. So a little bit about me. I think I'm just about at a year with Rotary, with Sunrise Rotary. So really happy to be a part of this club. I just love all of you, all the people in this club. And I think it's been one of the best things I've done in the past year. So I thank you everybody for encouraging me to join. This is my husband and I. We are actually celebrating our 20th anniversary coming up this month. So very exciting. He is a medical device salesman. He sells, I'm not very good at telling what he does, but he sells radiation for liver cancer. So radiation treatment for liver cancer. And then the next slide, which is actually more important, is, these are my sons. And I haven't really done a lot of introduction on who they are. The football player there is Benjamin. He's a freshman at Holland Hall. He's fun-loving, social, talented on stage. I hope to get him on stage more, and just really good with people. Very athletic, as you can see. He's about 6 foot, I would say about 185 pounds. So a big guy, and loves football right now. So my other son, Aiden, he is a senior this year. So big monumental year for us. He's very athletic. He runs cross country. He plays golf. He's actually plays to a 4 handicap. He's amazing to watch. He runs about 5 miles a day for cross country. So he's very intelligent, has a GPA of over 4 point. He made Team Wow Day last year. And one thing I wanted to let everybody know, which I haven't been very vocal about, because one thing I love about this club is we have many veterans, and we have, there's always a big aspect of patriotism and love for your country. And one thing you should know about this young man wants his top 3 choices right now for college are West Point, Naval Academy, and Air Force Academy. So he wants to be in the military. He wants a military career. And this year's going to be, he's right in the middle, in the thick of the whole process, which is just really complex, and he's handling it so well. So we're really excited for the things that he's about to accomplish and things that he's doing. So I just wanted to share a little bit about my family. So I know that in the fundraiser, Steve Kerr alluded to the fact about my TCC job. I started at TCC last December, and I think that's about the same time I actually was Rotarian of the day. So I was still drinking water out of a fire hose at that point with my role there. And so I was just learning what I was going to be doing. And so I'll just report a little bit about my role at TCC and what I'm doing. I'm part of the foundation, so I'm a development officer, and I am working in multiple realms of fundraising. So I work with individual donors, organizations. I've been writing a lot of grants. So grant applications have been a big thing I've been doing lately in regards to our accessibility resources department, as well as our DE&I, so diversity, equity, and inclusion. We've got some really great things coming up, and we've been awarded some really good grants in the past 6 months. So it's been exciting to be a part of. I also work with our internal, I run the employee giving campaign. So I work a lot with our employees. So that's just a little bit about kind of my focus and what I do at TCC. There's a lot more to it, and I would love to go on, but we have a speaker. So I'm gonna go on to Tricia Mason. I know in the fundraiser, Brian Day was supposed to be here, but Tricia has very, very generously given us her time. She is the Chief Operations Officer of 12 and 12. She's been there for about 1.5 years. And she's a master's degree in community counseling and a bachelor's degree in psychology. She's had 30 years of experience in the mental health and substance abuse, working with eating disorders, lots of different aspects in the mental health world. So she is an LPC, so licensed professional counselor in Oklahoma. Before 12 and 12, she managed the behavioral health department at an insurance company. But she just really, I think she's really excited to tell us more about 12 and 12. So I'm going to hand it over to you, Tricia. If you need to share your screen, let us know. Feel free.
Thank you so much. And I apologize for the change. Brian was planning on coming virtually, but he started running a fever, so he is isolating and resting. We don't think it's COVID, but whatever it is, he just needs to take a break and rest. So as Megan said, I've been at 12 and 12 just a little over a year and a half. And when you mentioned drinking out of a fire hose, that is exactly how I have felt for the longest amount of time. And had I known what a chief operating officer really did, I would have been too scared to take the job. I'm glad I did, but I would have been completely overwhelmed. 12 and 12, I want to start with a little bit of history. And if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat, or there's people that I can't see on the screen, but if you'll just let me know, I'm happy to answer any questions. And if you think of something while I'm talking, feel free to interject, and I'm good with just kind of rolling with the punches. I do not have a slideshow, and I apologize for that. 12 and 12 started in 1985 as a home for, as a residence for homeless alcoholic men. And it was just that, it was a residence, and they were expected to go to some support groups. And one of the cool things is our address at that time and until 1993 was 12 East 12th Street. So depending on who you talk to, some people say 12 and 12 is based on the 12 steps and 12 traditions. Other people say it came from the address, but excuse me, any way you look at it, the number 12 has been significant in our history for lots of reasons. At any given time, we average about 200 clients sleeping under our roof in some capacity. So we have, now that did drop significantly. In March with COVID, we stopped taking admissions for a couple of weeks so we could get proper equipment. We needed to make sure we had enough PPE for our staff. What were our plans in case we did have someone who showed symptoms? So that was about a 2-week delay of taking admissions. We didn't discharge any of our clients, we kept them, but it was, we had to, like everybody, there were a lot of adjustments that we had to make. And it was, we sent our non-essential staff to work from home, and our counselors were included in that. So they were trying to do groups virtually, in addition to having technology challenges because nobody was prepared for this. We also had to follow our medical director's guidelines of how many people could be in a room and those kind of things. And let me just say this, when it all hit, we talked about, we really wanted staff wearing cloth face coverings or masks, but we couldn't mandate it because we didn't have any to give them. And so social media is an amazing thing. I reached out to a few people from my Facebook page, and we had donations of homemade cloth masks of over 150 from not even organizations, just from people who made them. And so that I love the way Tulsa is an amazing community, and I've lived here all of my adult life, so I really can't speak to other communities, but Tulsa is an amazing community in terms of how philanthropic they are, and it's not just large foundations that donate, it's people. So let me tell you a little bit about the services that 12 and 12 provides. We are a residential substance use treatment facility. We are the largest treatment facility in the state of Oklahoma. Most of our funding comes from the Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services. So most of our clients are indigent or underemployed. They don't have health insurance benefits. So they qualify for state funding. We also have a contract with the VA. And so we have veterans in our facility, and I'll talk a little bit more about a specific VA program that we have in a little bit. We also have a contract with federal probation and parole and various tribes. And then also we have a 14-bed insurance unit. And so we are the, well, I hesitate to say that. There aren't a lot of residential treatment facilities in Tulsa. There may be one or two more, but we are one of the largest, but we do have contracts with most major insurance companies. So if someone who has health insurance needs treatment, we're a great option. We start with, we can take people into substance use detox services. We have a partnership with Oklahoma State University Center for Health Sciences, and they provide the medical coverage for us. So we have a physician who manages our detox. We have a physician who oversees our residential, and then we have what we call a residential psychiatric clinic. And so for people who may need, they may have co-occurring disorders, which is a substance use disorder, in addition to a mental health issue that may need to be medicated. So OSU physicians and residents staff those. They are either board certified psychiatrists, and in addition to being board certified psychiatry, all of our physicians, if they're not psychiatrists, are board certified in addiction medicine. So that's a real special niche that's not, there aren't a lot of places that can offer that board certification in addiction medicine. OSU also operates a fellowship in addiction medicine that they started a year ago. And so the fellow spends a lot of time at 12 and 12 learning how a substance use facility works and working directly with people with substance use disorders. Because of our relationship with OSU, we're able to offer medically supervised detox. So we can treat most people who are going through withdrawals from alcohol or meth or opiates. We occasionally do have to send people to a hospital because we're not set up to do, if we send someone to the hospital, most of the time they end up on an ICU because we're not set up for that, but we can do a lot of medical detox. And in the medical detox, if somebody has an opiate use disorder, they are most often treated, I just saw the Go OSU, yay, I'm a Pope too. They are treated with what we call medication-assisted treatment, and it's buprenorphine, Suboxone, and I won't get into all those boring details. But our physicians are all able to prescribe the medication-assisted treatment. And every graduate from the OSU Center for Health Sciences ends up, excuse me, with the ability to do medication-assisted treatment. And one of the great things about that is when we have physicians in rural communities, if you don't have that special certification to do the ongoing treatment for opiate use disorders, then they have to go, they have to go to Oklahoma City or Tulsa, and by OSU ensuring that all of their physicians have that ability to prescribe buprenorphine, it really allows treatment to go out. Treatment for opiate use disorders does not have to be done by a psychiatrist. It just needs to be managed medically by a physician with that special certification. In addition to detox, we have residential treatment, and that's an average stay of about 30 to 45 days. And that is 37 hours of programming a week that is required by the state. That's a lot of programming. So we do some individual work. They're in groups, there's education. We hire a number of disciplines. We have licensed counselors. We have registered nurses. We also have LPNs. We have certified nursing assistants. We have med techs. We have chemical dependency techs. Lots of different disciplines and education facilitators. So it's a multidisciplinary approach to treatment, which research shows is the best approach. We also, prior to COVID, offered a lot of support groups on site. We'd have AA come in NA, various support groups. We've had to be agile and try to figure out how to offer those without having people come into our facility, because we're really trying to protect our clients and our staff from all of the things that they can be exposed to. After someone completes the residential treatment, we have a 30-bed transitional living that is at our facility, and we are located at 6333 East Skelly Drive. It's an old Sheraton, and I think when I first moved to Tulsa in 1987, I think it might have been a Howard Johnson's for a brief amount of time. But an old hotel is a great place for a treatment facility because every room is already set up with the bathroom, and we've got large ballrooms where we can meet. It's an older facility. We've done some renovation, and we still have a lot left to do, but we've certainly made some progress. So transitional living, the clients can stay there up to 4 months, and they are out of treatment, but there is still some groups that they are required to attend. But this is that time when they go from being in treatment and early recovery. And they're provided housing and 3 meals a day. And as I said, some support and through some groups, and then also some case management. But during that time, they need to get a job, and it helps them transition to leaving care at that level. A lot of our clients after treatment or after transitional living will get into a sober living facility, and there are requirements there too, that they have to be able to pay a certain amount per week, and they have to do kind of a communal government in sober living facilities. And so that's another way. We just do the whole continuum of care, and we don't just put people through treatment and then put them out on the streets. We really try to provide a whole lot of support. We also have outpatient services, and this is also located on our campus. And people who have either, maybe they don't need treatment yet, but they're having some issues with substance use, they can start in outpatient, and hopefully they'll be successful. That will be all they need. Or also when people leave the facility, they can when they leave residential, they can transition to outpatient, and they can do up to 3 days a week, a couple of hours at a time. And again, we've managed to do a lot of this virtually. We've started coming back in person, proper social distancing, face coverings, and hopefully outpatient. I mean, it's doing okay during this time, but it is a program that can grow. One of the cool things is I hope that our funding sources will look at how successful the virtual platform has been, because a lot of our clients have difficulty with transportation. And even though there's a bus stop close to us, most of our programs go until I think like 7:30 or 8. And so the bus lines aren't necessarily operating through there. But a lot of people have access to a smartphone, and they can do it from their homes. I talked a little bit about medication-assisted treatment. And for people who leave our program that are still on medication, they can either go to Family and Children's Services, or OSU that has an outpatient addiction medicine clinic that they can be seen there. So again, our goal is to make sure that people are linked with the services they need, and not just getting them in for 30 days of treatment and sending them out. An exciting thing that has recently happened, and it's been in the works for over a year, is we started treating methamphetamine disorder specifically. So we have a methamphetamine dedicated treatment program, and it's kind of a pilot, but we are looking at, OSU was very instrumental in working with us and identifying the evidence-based research from across the country. And there's not a whole lot. You may be familiar with, I mean, everybody's heard about the opioid crisis that Oklahoma has experienced, and OSU won a $240 million lawsuit against some of the pharmaceutical companies. And as time has gone by, we've seen the opiate crisis decrease some, but what we've also seen is methamphetamine use has skyrocketed. And it's not the same kind of meth. Remember the story of the woman who was doing the shake and bake in the Walmart? It's been several years ago. The meth now is brought in by the Mexican cartel, so it is much purer. It is much more dangerous, and we've seen just an absolute spike in that. And with people who have been using meth, what the research shows is it takes at least 90 days before their brains settle back in. It really is, it's a horrible, has a lot of horrible neurological effects. So our meth program is a community partnership. Healthy Minds is a policy initiative organization that is funded through the Zero Foundation. And so they started working with some of the community partners, and at the table on this meth dedicated treatment is 12 and 12, OSU, the Department of Mental Health and Substance Use Services, the George Kaiser Family Foundation, the Zero Family Foundation, Family and Children's Services, and specifically their Women in Recovery program, which is a jail diversion program for their justice-involved women. And so if Weir has a woman who uses meth, they send her to us for treatment, and then we work with them to transition her back to their program. I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anybody in the meth dedicated treatment. We have also started working with Workforce Tulsa. where legal aid is going to be hopefully playing a bigger role. There's also a male diversion program called First Step, and we're working with them to see how we can partner for our folks that have our justice involved and help them. And so we're also working with sober living communities to put the people who experience a meth use disorder together in housing, because there's a lot of trauma in substance use in general, but there's a tremendous amount of trauma in meth use disorders. And so having people who've experienced trauma living together is beneficial. It doesn't disrupt the general milieu as much, and then it gives the people, those helping them, the ability to really focus on some trauma-informed care. One of the programs that 12 and 12 offers, and it's called Individual Placement Services or Support. I always get that confusion. I apologize for that. But it helps. It's been big in the community mental health center world for a long time, and it's a model that works. It helps people with traditionally mental health disorders get into employment, and it's supported employment, and it's helped, and it's a partnership between the employer and an organization. And 12 and 12 is the first substance use facility in Oklahoma that has that service in our facility. We know it's a program that works, and we've been able to partner with a national organization. Mike, I will get to your question. Let me finish my thought real quick, because that's a great question. We are, and I totally lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. I'm so distractible, and it's early. I haven't had enough coffee.
Trisha, I can watch the chat box for you, and then we can field the questions when you're ready.
Okay,
so,
thank you. That will help. But I'm so visually distracted. I was doing a presentation at the Zaro Symposium last week, and a little lizard walked by my door. Apparently, I have lizards living in my house, and it was so hard not to scream and not to be distracted by that, but I think I pulled it off. Our IPS, we have just received notice that we've gotten a grant from BEES, and I cannot even tell you what BEES stands for because I'm not completely involved in that. We have a great person that's heading that initiative, but they are awarding us some money to do a study in our environment of how we can improve the employment services, which is great. We also have an alumni association. It has been paused. The last time they met was in February, and so we're starting it virtually this month. But what we have done is bring alumni back into our environment for a speakers meeting, a 12-step speakers meeting, and then we have our residents come to that. And it's just been so amazing. I've attended a couple of times to watch our residents see people that maybe they were in treatment with a few weeks ago, and to see how they're just thriving out in the community. And it's also so good for the people, our alumni, to come in and be able to share their story that, 6 months ago, a year ago, I was where you are. And we've had several of our alumni start their own businesses, and they are specifically hiring people in recovery. And one of them is a fence company, and he's actually in North or South Dakota, I can't remember, doing a fence for a government agency up there. So, and he's very open about his story. He shared publicly, but not only was he using meth, but he was cooking meth and dealing meth, and just came into 12 and 12. He'd been to treatment several times, felt pretty hopeless, went through detox, went through treatment, went through transitional living, lived in sober living. When he was in transitional living, he couldn't get a job because of his legal history. So he thought, well, I'm gonna start my own company. So he conned his brother-in-law into using his pickup, and they started raking leaves, started doing a yard service. And from that, he's gone to building fences at a very successful level. So we love those stories. And the Alumni Association is a great opportunity for clients who feel pretty hopeless, who are in treatment currently, to see, okay, well, here's somebody that's had legal charges and has been, family has pretty much distanced themselves, didn't have a place to live, and look where they ended up. So let me talk real briefly about what our needs are. And I realize I'm running out of time, so I'm going to talk quickly. we are always in need of men's and women's clothing. We take donations Monday through Friday from 8 to about 4:30. We have a donation box. If you're interested, Megan can share my email address and I am happy to help with that. Gently used clothing, including shoes. And we really need more men's clothing than women's because men don't get rid of their clothing until they're worn out. So we don't get as many men's donations. One thing that's easy to help with, you can go on to Amazon and purchase men's underwear, men's socks, women's sports bras, women's underwear, and just have it shipped directly to us. What size of men's clothing do we need? General sizes, kind of that average. We don't have, you know, if somebody's like, you know, 6'10", we probably don't have much use for that. But any, you know, larges, extra larges, we need hoodies, we need sweatshirts. And that's for men and women. Games, puzzles, books, art supplies, and they don't have to be brand new. If you've got all the pieces, decks of cards, just things to keep teach our clients how to have fun without substances. So I'll stop there. Megan, what are some of the questions that I can answer?
Yeah, so the first one says, does Sharon Thole, I don't know how to say that, Thoele, still work there? And who are the physicians?
That is not a name I'm familiar with. Our current medical director is Jason Beeman, who is the head of psychiatry at OSU's Center for Health Sciences. He is transitioning, and so Lowell Robertson will become our medical director October 15th. Samuel Martin is one of our physicians who's board certified in addiction medicine and psychiatry. And then Ray Denny is board certified in addiction medicine, and he takes care of detox.
Great. So we have, Janet says, I am a physician at Hillcrest. What we hear in our frustration is that if we detox a person from alcohol and they agree to go to rehab, I've been told the person actually has to be drunk or have alcohol in their system to get accepted. Is that correct? And if so, should we send them to you from the ER if stable otherwise?
I am so sorry that that is happening. And if you would provide your contact information, I would be happy to get you in touch with the administrator over admissions. That is not true. Now, they would not qualify for detox if they'd been detoxed at your facility, but they would qualify for residential. Now, there is a process to go through, and I will tell you that sometimes there's not a residential bed. And so that can be a challenge at times.
Okay. Do any of your clients have COVID?
We have done, knock on wood, I just hate to even say it out loud. We have had only 1 or 2 clients test positive. And early on, our director of facilities is a very wise man, and we spent a ton of money purchasing an electrostatic machine. It's a backpack. It looks very Ghostbusters. And then we have a handheld too, and we disinfect the facility on a regular basis, the high touch areas, and then just in general. And so if a staff member, because we've had more staff members test positive than we have clients, then we immediately disinfect that area we can be there in 15 minutes to control that spread. So we've done an amazing job. And this flu season's coming. It's getting a little bit scary.
Yeah. How are people admitted for treatment? Are they court referred, doctor referred, self-referral, all the above?
All of the above. Our phone number, if you just call our general number, and I think it's 664-4224, and that's 918. And then somebody in admissions will talk them through the process. You cannot make a family member come. You can call and get information, but you can't give all of the information and then force them to come. We do get some court referrals, people with some legal involvement, but there has to be at least some willingness on the person's part to be admitted. Let me talk real quickly about the Tulsa Sobering Center. I forgot about that. It's a partnership with the city of Tulsa. Tulsa police officers can bring people who are publicly intoxicated to the Sobering Center as opposed to jail. It takes them less than 10 minutes to drop someone off at the Sobering Center as opposed to about 3 hours to do the paperwork for jail. It also gives that person, they sleep it off for 10 hours. we can put them into detox if they need it, if we have a detox bed. But for somebody who just made a bad decision, they don't have legal charges then. They don't have fines. It's a great opportunity, and it's a great partnership with the Tulsa Police Department.
That's good. One more question on here. Is there any occupational requirement for your residents? Do they need a job to leave?
No, no. If they're in transitional living, they need to get one while they're there. But we are always looking for opportunities to help our residents get employment when they leave.
Great.
So any thoughts on that? We'd be happy to work with you on that.
Right. I think that's it on the questions. We appreciate you being here, Tricia. This was very informative. And I think Janet put her information in chat. So if you want to grab that, it's there. Otherwise, any other questions?
Thanks on behalf of the whole club. We appreciate your stepping in for Brian. I know Brian, and he's very, very passionate about what he's doing over there. And obviously you are too. So thank you. And as a thank you, we can't hand you a coffee cup today, but we will make a donation to the Rotary Foundation for Polio in 12 and 12 name, honoring you. So thank you again very much.
Thank you.
And for the rest of the group, I always close with a little saying, and this is from Ben Franklin. At 20 years of age, the will reigns. At 30, the wit. And at 40, the judgment. So thought for the week, and I will see some of you on Monday night when we induct Laura and Jesse, and the rest of you next Wednesday morning. So if no one has anything else, we are adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.